show. While you're on the podcast and everything, so appreciate all the
Okay. So, different layers, different wireless, different layers. They're layer on top. Right now, I got this layer, this NBC mirror on. That's like if I want to change it to a like a lower third, I can pop a lower third on there, like a name or whatever. Not remember where I was. Oh, okay, let me take that off. Goes down. Go back up now. Okay, so they're coming back up. What happened when we went down? Everybody dropped, so they're coming back up. Uh, so, um, so you have different layers. I got one layer of like lower thirds off the tickers that go across, you sit back and enjoy the music to a show stars, things like, chess matters, whatever I want to do,
Do you have many shows in your archives on
DMR. We haven't done much, although I've got the new DMR, I've got the new DE Mega Cast. I'll put it in here tomorrow. It's an IP record, no anything. And it'll do D-Star, DMR. We use it on record play. It just switched to reverb.
I set mine up in the hotel yesterday.
Did you get it? Did you? The Mega Cast?
And I didn't realize that I didn't set up Wi-Fi to connect anything. So I took my iPhone, I changed and the Wi-Fi credentials to exactly the one I connected at home.
Yeah.
Booted it right up. Connected.
Talking about?
No, I'm still.
So yeah,
I just heard you talking about the
I
cast.
can do video. These are all camera shots. These are all this level. That level's audio. And different things. There's some playlists. There is music playlists on my play. And those are camera shots that you usually bring people in Skype. And broadcast has things built in where I can actually pull up a camera shot. Like right here on Skype, this guy sees it just like a camera. I can bring him in, I can bring me in, I can open some pictures.
If I get one of these tracking, I want to use FaceTime. Photo bomb.
Good.
Let's try this one.
We do most of the green screen. Green screen.
I'm going to check out the site.
Check us out Tuesday night at 8:00. We also have an audio podcast. It's on that too.
Okay. What's the length of that audio podcast?
It's a show. If the show's an hour and a half, it's an hour and a half.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Sure.
I can't find the audio.
Yeah.
Books on the ground.
That's right. That's kind of what I have. Well, I got to make a cast out, so I'll maybe I'll bring it in tomorrow. We'll plug it in here. Yeah, we can see it. Yeah, you told me about it. Yeah, 9 Eastern. Yeah.
Two small cables. That's probably going to be about it.
Yep.
How about you? Anything?
What's some ferrites?
Oh, okay.
That's it. Ferrites so far. What, a couple beers?
There you go.
Oh, hey, how you doing, man?
Can I read on your web that you're reloading your station?
We're fine. Yeah, I was a beta tester and helped develop it. We've got it on home right now.
Fuck. I can't get any audio out of this thing. I mean, getting audio, but so well. Hey, man. What's going on? How are you?
Real fast.
You know anything about GoPro?
What's up?
You know anything about a GoPro camera?
A little bit.
My audio is. I found it last year. There was a way to boost the audio, like 20 dB or something. I can't find it, and now I can't. My audio is so low, it's not going to work.
Back to. Isn't it terrible when you can't figure things out?
It sucks. I want to get this done. Do you have any anything
What?
Do you have any other cameras that can go out? This thing works so good.
Yeah. How's that?
Steal it.
I don't need it. I got too many radios now. Probably wouldn't even use it. I started to get to a point that I didn't do it. Yeah, Tommy, we've only dropped like 3 or 4 times. And you hear when the fire went out? We lost the whole network. Flag up there, it went dead. All the network, was fire. The entire area was down. And it just now, this thing rebooted. I don't know why.
But it was the network or the power?
Power.
Mike, I still have a job. Who? Mike, I do that.
What?
A job. He's not here. How long was the outage?
Hey, I found something here, Tom.
Fine.
That says I got one of your inputs. Standard mic plus, power mic plus, line in.
I don't know.
It was on standard mic plus. I guess I can try them all, right?
Yeah. I get a spool.
Okay, this is the standard mic sound. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, this is called power mic. Power mic 1, 2, 1, 2. This is power mic plus. Power mic plus. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Why don't you turn your
Are you good or you have an issue?
Tom, when's Wheelock coming? Tomorrow?
Okay, yeah, we'll be here.
Who was the young man that was doing the streaming just a little while ago?
I don't know if I was here.
This guy.
Katie Fisher?
Let me turn that so you can see. So you can see yourself.
Ask Tom.
Is that mic turned on?
He'll know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just walk over and talk to Tom.
Okay. Talk right into it.
Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, talk right straight into this. Well, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. I'm David, K5UZ, Delta Division Director, sitting here on W5KUB.com. We are streaming live, and I would like to say greetings from Dayton, or Xenia, as it may be. Here with the ARRL, we have a very good setup again for our expo, as this is the national convention. We have many great things planned and look forward to seeing everyone. Lots happening with the league, and we would appreciate everybody's input. We would appreciate your participation. Come by and visit us. A lot of good information, and we'd love to have a chat with you. I just want to say 7-3s to all, and we'll talk to you at Xenia and at Dayton. Thank you.
Is that all?
That's all.
That was fast.
Man. Okay. Well, anytime, come by.
I do have a knockoff golf club. I don't know many. I just remember
Okay, well, you can tell what it is. What you do the handbook. Okay, guys. I'll tell you what. We are test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2.
I turn the volume off of the speaker because I was doing anything. But he was doing, the audio was good.
All right, test 1. Oh, okay. Let me back this down a little. Okay, guys. Hey, we got ARRL representation here with us. We're gonna let him talk about the next prize we're going to give out. So I'm going to give the mic to David K5UZ and let him talk about it.
Okay, is it the set, the box set? Oh, okay.
Is there more than one set?
Well, good afternoon again. Okay. Okay. Hello.
Handbot should be running.
There he goes. Okay, good afternoon again. I'm David K5UZ, Delta Division Director for the ARRL. And we're going to be giving away a prize right now, and it's a really great prize, one of the best books ever. It's a unique set for the handbook. This is the multi-volume edition of the ARRL Handbook 2019, and we would love to give this out. And in fact, we're going to award it right now. This thing is really nice. It's multiple sets. You can pull out the smaller version that you're wanting to look at in any particular section of interest that you may have, whether it's antennas, receivers, transmitters, feed lines, or just general station construction techniques. This is a great prize, and we would love to give it out. We are generating the winner. Do we have a winner? Okay. Oh, we're seeing all kinds of responses here, and that's cool. It is a 2019 handbook, and it is valued at $64.95. That is $65 roughly, and it's a great addition to your shack. It's like everybody wants one. We see K5PK say, "I've always wanted one," and K2XR says, "Hurry." So we're ready to generate that, and we're going to come up with a winner. Everybody thinks it's cool. So Hambot is working. And let's see. Here we go. I see an acknowledgement from KC8YQL. Here we go. K8WX. A lot of folks chiming in. And here we go.
Okay, let me just say, by voice, there's about a 20-second delay. So if we're calling names out, that's not necessarily the correct timing. Hambot is going to know if the time's up or not, not us by voice. So we go by Hambot on the chat room. So the prize could actually get over, and we're still talking about it, you know.
Okay. So we're still running behind on this, just a little lag.
Yeah, there's lag here. So that's why we use Hambot
Yeah.
to time it and to pick the winner.
Okay, here
But
it
we're
is.
still seeing who Handbot's looking for and so
Mhm.
forth.
Okay, well, so it's out there looking for it. We're seeing comments on here. So, and this is a prize. It is a 2019 handbook set. It is valued at $65 roughly. It has been donated by the ARRL at headquarters. We want to thank Steve Ford for doing that at HQ. So, here we are. We're waiting to get the winning name, the winning number. Little delay running on our screen.
Yeah, I might see the level.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't see the level.
A lot of good comments coming up.
Yeah.
We appreciate everybody's participation and everybody's comments here. Having a great time here at Dayton at Xenia. And the really is coming together, the show is.
So there's a winner already.
Okay, we've got a winner.
It's on the screen here somewhere. It may have rolled off.
We can get it back up. It's an Arkansas guy, yep. Subject, QRX.
Kathy, who won it? So we're looking for who won it.
Okay, looks like our winner for the handbook is November Charlie 4. Bravo Papa. You are the winner of the ARRL 2019 handbook set. That's a $64.95 value. And congratulations.
All right. Very good.
More coming from Xenia.
All right.
Thank you, David.
All right, guys. We're gonna do a quick clip chat. We're trying to get some video. We're trying to get some video here running. We're gonna have to run a video clip here, and just do a sound check. We'll be right back with you. Stand by. All right, guys, we need your help. We're going to run a sound check here of a video. Tell us in the chat room if it was okay. So we're going to try to run it. Here we go.
Okay, this is a test of audio. This is November 3 Victor Echo testing audio. 1 2 1 2. Okay, this is a test of audio. This is November 3 Victor Echo testing audio. 1 2 1 2. Okay, this is a test of audio. This is November 3 Victor.
That was test 1 2. Was the sound good? Okay. All right, we're just setting a GoPro up, and then we're going to take it outside and get some video. We just want to make sure the audio was okay. So things are kind of hard here to set up. We could not even hear it on the laptop. It was so weak, but on our broadcaster, we actually can hear it here. So we'll have some video coming in here in a minute.
Why are you on both sides here? There's two here. Yeah. So I thought I would see them both there. So this set on stereo. All right, Tom. Two right here. Oh, let's pull my car. I'll walk this building 5-10 minutes and I'll come back. See how it is. Play it. What you can do with it. laptop, if we put it in there and ask the chat rooms, that's the only way I can test it. That's the chat room, so that's a great call. All right, we're going to try this now. This is different.
I think they should just put a whole bunch of chairs out.
Oh, I went and walked this building, so we'll see how this works out.
Are you planning to go to the showcase? No, I was planning to do that.
No, I wasn't planning on this. That's tomorrow or today?
Today.
Oh, okay.
Well, coming soon on 3.
You'll do that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. You did it last year.
Yeah.
I prefer to walk around.
Doing good. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hi, Dave. I don't know if we've ever met. I'm Jeff Entry.
Yes, how are you?
You do great videos, I'll tell you that.
No, thank you.
Weird. I got to get a better spot. Lunch now. What?
About 5 minutes. I walked this building, so
Have y'all done that balloon with Bill Brown yet?
sorry?
Have y'all done that? No, you're not doing a balloon with Bill Brown now. You got one in the air now, right?
Who's Bill Brown? I'm sorry.
Bottom group.
WB8VTK. I mean, no. WB8ELK. Y'all don't know that there's a balloon in the air with this call sign on it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I think it is. I think it went off.
Put an APRS
Yeah.
monitor on it.
Were you going to do another Bill Brown balloon at the fest, or just the one you already had?
I see this guy on YouTube all the time.
Yeah, how you doing?
Pretty good there, young fella. Good to see you.
Nice to meet you.
Mr. Castle.
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Uh-huh.
How about you?
Hanging in there, doing real well.
All right, we're going to try this now. This is Jeff N3VE, and we're gonna leave the booth here and walk this building. This is the second building that Middle building. We'll do a quick tour and come back, make sure everything's working okay. High owl sound. Say hi. Hi, Hammy. Expert Linears. We'll come back later and get an interview from them if anyone's interested. Did an interview last year. Not much has changed. They do have a new antenna switch. There's Bob showing off his parametric receive audio system. I have it and I like it a lot. He told me they're going to come out with a splitter so you can work left and right audio, purchasing a separate speaker for about $250. Everyone knows Radio Waves, Emmett. And of course the Icon booth.
Yep, we still build houses with 2x4
And the newest radio.
feet. Yep, fine. Everything's still.
All right, so we're having a little trouble getting some video here, but we're gonna keep working at it.
Hey. Not choppy at all.
Well, there's something about the encoding is. It's not right. So you're right.
Let me go up to like 4 minutes and see what's there. Okay, this is where I went to ICOM.
Yeah, we can try it again.
This is where it got stuck when I went right between these people. That's their new radio. It got stuck kind of like right there. Look at that. It's not stuck.
Well, we can try again. We can plug it and try again.
All right, we're gonna load up a walk around and see if we can play it again. It got stuck on us a minute ago.
Hey,
I thought you did. That's why I pulled it, because I was going to go out again. All right.
Pull it up already. Pull it
All right, we're going to try this now. This is Jeff N3VE, and we're gonna leave the booth here and walk this building. This is the second building, the middle building. We'll do a quick. All right, we're going to try this now. This is Jeff N3VE, and we're gonna leave the booth here and walk this building. This is the second building, the middle building. We'll do a quick tour and come back, make sure everything's working okay. High all sound. Say hi. Hi, Hammy. Expert Linears. We'll come back later and get an interview from them if anyone's interested. Did an interview last year. Not much has changed. They do have a new antenna switch. There's Bob showing off his parametric receive audio system. I have it, and I like it a lot. He told me they're going to come out with a splitter so you can work left and right audio, purchasing a separate speaker for about $250. Everyone knows radio waves, Emmett. And of course the Icon booth.
Yep, we still build houses with 2x4.
And the newest radio.
Yep,
Sorry, sorry for you. our buddy Ray Novak. Say hi, Ray.
How's it going? Hey, everybody. Oh, W5KUB. All right, you guys rock.
Thanks, Ray. Bengali Keys. There's Gordo. HRO. It's a little crowded here. Friday afternoon, about 2:45.
How was the test?
Oh, actually, I thought it was easier than the general, actually. So.
Wow. Are
yeah.
you? Do you have an engineering background?
Yeah, I'm a double E. So.
Oh, no wonder. No
Yeah.
wonder you did
So it's all theory.
well.
So.
Yeah.
Hi, Gordon.
Hey, Southern California's here, huh?
Very good. Thanks for being here.
Well, Dayton 2019 is quite a hit, and the place is packed, so this could beat the biggest number they've had here in a long time.
Well, the weather's cooperating today.
Yes, only a few drops early this morning.
Thanks, Gordon. Sure. Say hello if you'd like to.
Hello, guys, especially my buddies over there in Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, from W9SUS. You guys should be here this year, man. There's more people I've ever seen out here in Xenia. We're having a ball. The Kentucky Pork Chops is fantastic. I'll bring you one back. Thanks.
Nice to meet you. The ARRL always has a big section here. This is huge. You can buy any book you want, learn as much as you need to, and sign up and join the ARRL. Flex Radio. The new amplifier is shipping, and I have one. That's Gerald Youngblood with his demonstration of the, looks like a 6600M. We'll come back and interview him later. And that's building 2. All right, we're going to try.
set it. Can you set it?
I don't want to set it over there, obviously. I can set it on the
Set
floor.
it on the
sure.
floor right over there. Great. I can put you guys down. Let's try to put you behind the table. Yeah. We have 2 chairs. I think we're running out of chairs. Oh, we got one down here. Oh man, sounding better and better. Oh, you've been there already? Where are they? Oh, can you work the camera for us? Y'all sit down behind the table there. Have a seat. You want 3 seats? No, just 2. I'm not going to. It's not approved. I'm going to say hi to you.
There's a few cords under there, so just watch yourself.
Oops. I'm gonna put this on you somewhere. All right. I'm just here. Howard's gonna do all the talking.
Yeah.
Mic test.
There's your mic. Put that on you.
Okay. Mic test. That's 1, 2, 3. How did it go last time where I just introduced you and I just left?
And I'll know where I find you too.
Test 1, 2.
This must get pretty old after a while. You have amazing stamina.
Oh, I'm just pretending.
I know.
All right, so let's see how the mics are.
Hello,
Oh.
CQDX, CQDX.
Yours might be a little too far around by your ear. We need to move it somewhere else.
Yeah. How's your cataracts? I'm fixing to get mine
Let's
done.
try it here.
Oh, I
Okay.
had mine done. It's wonderful.
Give me a.
See,
You'll like it.
you have good distance vision?
CQDX, CQDX.
Okay. I'm
I
gonna
always
get.
did though.
Okay.
So I'm gonna make a picture of y'all.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I'm going to try to get over here to the side. Okay.
Okay, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Can I grab that and introduce you with it?
Yeah.
Okay. When we get ready.
I'm just going to scoot in for a second and I'm
Okay.
gone.
Oh, that's hard.
No,
Oh.
I'm not going to sit over here. I don't think you can get us in here.
Creak, creak.
Can you get us right now?
I got them. You want to be in it?
I can move over.
No, don't worry about it. I'll lean over.
Why don't you get a chair and sit there and I'll get you in?
This ain't going to work too good. All right.
Get nice and cozy here.
Y'all free? Oh, okay.
All right, mic test 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Hey guys, we got some great guests with us. Martin FG and Howard Nurse with us. We're going to be talking about the rig pie in a minute. These are the brains behind it, the developers, and the guys that made this thing such a popular product. And it's out this weekend. I think they're releasing it this weekend, and everybody's selling out of them. So, Martin, how you doing, Martin?
Oh, I'm doing just great.
You might have to talk a little louder. I don't know.
Okay.
Can you hear Martin?
The very first one.
Hello, can you hear me now? Okay.
All right, so we're gonna start. We won't start over because we can edit if we have to. But how you doing, Martin?
Oh, I'm doing great, especially since I got a chance to sit down now.
It's getting. You know what? I'm gonna put us a little air conditioning on right here, guys. Can you feel that right there?
Feels great.
Does that feel better? It's getting hot here, isn't it? Well, Martin, a lot of things are changing in ham radio, especially the new products that you're coming out with.
Absolutely.
You've been a ham since 1960. That goes back to last century. You too, Howard.
Yeah.
What, 1960 or about?
58.
58. Man, you're the old timer here.
Yeah.
58, 60. I'm only 64, so I'm the young kid
Young guy.
in the block here, man. Oh, let's. I don't know. Where do you guys want to get started? Let's just pick it up and talk Rig Pie,
Okay.
or where you want to be.
Let me introduce Howard here. If y'all will look here, I have this box. It's a prop.
Take your hand out. So there you go.
Okay. This box is probably 4 inches wide, maybe 2.5 inches by 3 inches. You take this box, you plug your radio, almost any radio into it, you plug an internet connection to it, and you can operate your radio remotely from anywhere in the world. All you need is a web browser. But it does a lot more than that. This can replace your home computer. You don't even need a computer anymore. It's got email built in, it's got a spreadsheet, it's got a word processor built in. And we have over here to my right, Howard Nurse, who designed this product and wrote all the software. He's a pretty amazing guy. And he's going to tell you all about this.
Thank you, Martin. And speaking of amazing guys, in my book, you're the amazing guy. It's been an absolute pleasure to work with MFJ through the 2 years of this development. And I'm surprised and excited and overwhelmed by the response to our mutual efforts, the Rig Pie itself, and to MFJ's publicity of it and marketing of it has just been truly amazing to watch. So thank you, Martin. And Tom, who just disappeared to my right, is also to be thanked. Tom was one of the original beta testers on Rig Pie, and I hope those of you that follow Tom on his weekly video casts know that he has been quite involved all the way from his cruise ship experience, taking Rig Pie out on the high seas and talking to Walter KI4V back at home. Walter KI4V, who is manning the camera as we show this right now, also worked several DX stations that are documented on videos that Tom has produced. So thank you, Tom, and thank you, Martin, for all of your help in making this new exciting project called the Rig Pie 1234. Let me say a little bit about it. Martin already described the fact that it's a server. This is just like a server that you might use to connect to Amazon. Amazon has servers, or Google has servers, maybe a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit more powerful than the Rig Pie, but basically it does the same thing. You connect with a mobile device or another computer, you're greeted with a browser, and on that browser you can control your radio, you can operate CW, you can watch spots as they come in through one of the Telnet spot sites. You can look up calls in the onboard FCC database or use an optional QRZ call book lookup. And I probably missed something in the way of radio control, but there are other things that are available, such as a VoIP server. VoIP is Voice over Internet Protocol. It's a way that we get two-way audio from the radio out to the mobile device. And Mumble is a server that many gamers, online gamers, will recognize, but it's a very robust server that resides on the Rig Pie. It's already installed for you, and there's a client on the Rig Pie running to connect to the radio, and you install another client, simple download on your mobile device, and you're good to go. But wait a minute, you say, what about digital modes? And I'm happy to announce that all of the popular digital modes are also pre-installed. No more fooling around with Linux scripts and install files. It's all set to go with FLDigi, with JTCall, with WSJTX, so you can use all of the popular digital modes using the desktop on RigPi station server. So that's an amazing amount of software and hardware all packaged into a small box, and it's being sold here for the first time by MFJ, and I think we've heard that we're sold out. So if you're coming tomorrow or coming Sunday, it doesn't look like your odds of getting one are very good, but I know that MFJ is fastly working on a new production run, and that should be available in the very near future. So look forward to your questions. We have a RigPi site, https rigpi.net, and a user group that's very active now where you can get additional questions answered on rigpi.groups.io. So we look forward to seeing you all there and enjoying the new world of remote operations with your RigPi and sharing in the excitement of this brand new technology. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Martin.
You know, there's this great help site out there. I know you got it documented. You're adding new things into the document each day to help people set it up. And there's this user group out there that's been beta testing that helps people set this up. So there should be a lot of support out there. And it's a real exciting product. You know, Martin and Howard, when we were growing up, teenagers, we didn't have anything like this, you know?
Oh, no. All we had was a telegraph key that you had to key by hand.
That's right, man. And
an alligator clip to switch the antenna.
Just look how technology has evolved over the years, man, for something that does all this stuff. It's just, it's amazing.
Well, we used to have a sounder, right? Yeah. Remote control sounder on the radio, on the railroad lines way back in the old day. So that was the first remote control. We've gone a little bit further than that now.
Well, I can tell you, there's probably a lot more processing in this thing right here. They went up on the first mission to the moon, right?
Yeah.
I imagine it is. And this thing will do everything. I was really impressed with it. I loved playing with it. I use it mostly for remote control. I'm not a digital guy, but I may jump into the digital and play with the digital stuff. It sounds like it's making it real easy.
Well, its model number is MFJ 1234, and as Martin loves to say, it's as easy to use as 1, 2, 3, and a 4.
Yeah, I think that was done on purpose, wasn't it, Martin? The 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys.
Well, that's a natural number for it.
You guys made it that way, so that name really helps to describe it. We're going to be running a RigPi in the car Monday going back home, and maybe we'll talk to a bunch of people out there. And it's going to be a fun trip again going home. So, Martin, when are you going to have a bunch more made where people can order them?
Monday.
Monday, okay. You got your people working all weekend, huh? Fast as they can. Well, that's good. That's cool. And this will work on just about any modern rig, I guess, that you can do rig control with.
You brought up a really good point, Tom. There are 4 USB ports at the end. And in order to connect your radio, it does need to have a USB cable. Now, a lot of older rigs, such as my FT1000MP, only has an old classical serial port. So you need to buy a $10 serial to USB cable adapter in order to use it with RigPi. We also have an audio RJ45 port. MFJ can provide you with an optional audio cable ready for your rig to plug in here, or at the other end you can use 3.5 millimeter jacks to connect audio, to connect your keyer, and push to talk also can be through there. Even if you're not controlling your radio, it has a built-in keyer that you don't need to be connected to a radio at all. You notice the speed pot on the front. That's because it's probably the world's smartest keyer. It uses the very popular K1EL wind keyer chip. So if you've had any experience with a wind keyer, you'll just love it built into the RigPi. And finally, I want to thank Tom and the other beta testers who have been so helpful during this process. Beta testing has been going on since late last year, and we've made many, many improvements to the user interface thanks to guys like Tom. There have been a lot of bugs that have been found, and those have been all fixed. There will be periodic updates that will always be free. When you start up RigPi, it will say, oh, I've got a new update for you. Do you want to install it now? You click OK. Boom, it's downloaded and installed, and you're ready to go with a new version. So I hope we've thought of most of the problems and questions that will come up, but the RigPi forum at rigpi.groups.io is a good place to go for additional questions.
Well, I know when we were just in the kind of the early days of developing this, you put a lot of work into it for different functionality. And I had a request. I didn't want to leave my 12-volt power supply on 24 hours a day. And I didn't want to leave my antenna hooked up 24 hours a day, especially if I was out of town. And Howard was able to make just a few little software entries here and there. We got Okay, so Howard was able to do a couple software little inserts there, and we've got an output on it where I can actually turn my 12-volt power supply off at home, and it will also disconnect my antenna and ground it. So that way I feel safe. The antenna's off of it, power's off. I can be away for a week or 2 weeks, and when I get ready to use it, I hit one of the macro buttons on the on RigPi. It turns the power back on and hooks the antenna to it, and frequency pops up, and I can go anywhere I want to, you know.
And it does support CAT power on and power off as well. So most modern radios have the ability to turn power on and off through special commands, and those are all supported by RigPi. So you don't need to leave your radio on, you just need to leave a 10-watt RigPi connected and running. You don't need a laptop or a PC if you want to do any remote ops and not have your radio on. Leave the RigPi running, turn the radio on and off with a special macro button, and you're good to go.
In the macros you got out there, you can custom the macros for what you want on your radio. For instance, I've got set a macro up on my radio, on the RigPi for antenna tuner. I've got another button for processor on or off. I got one for preamp on or off. So it's real easy. Most of your manuals that come with your radio have the little commands in the back to control the radio, and you just key those commands in these macro keys, and you can set it up to be whatever you want it to be. How many macros you got available?
Well, there are 32 macros, but if you're macro short, there are ways to get to double that. You just set up another account, same radio, and you get 32 more macros. So now you're up to 64.
That's cool. Now, you know, we need to set Martin one of these up because I don't think he operates much from home. He's in a HOA, and you know he can't do much. But Martin, we can hook one of these up down there at your shop down there on that big antenna, and put one of those Meritron amplifiers on it.
Oh, that would be great. I can operate mobile that way.
You could. You
running a kilowatt.
Yeah, running a kilowatt.
So I'm looking forward to getting Martin on here. You know, Martin has all these 10,000 products there at MFJ, and he doesn't even take any of them home, you know, to play with. They're all at the office, man. If I was in Martin's shoes, I'd hit. I don't know what his shack looks like. I hadn't been in his house, but
well, I can't squeeze anything else in the house.
You can't squeeze anything else in? Well, if you guys have taken some of our tours with us in Martin's office, he's a big collector of vintage stuff, real radios, vintage stuff. I see my novice rig in here and all that stuff in here.
Tubes.
Yeah. Hey guys, just a point of interest that you may not know, or if you follow the show, you probably do know. But Howard Nurse here, his father was the president of Heath Company. Is it Heath Company? I call it Heath Kit.
It is Heath Company technically, but
yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, Heath Company, and everybody knows it by Heath Kit. And if you pull out any of your old Heath Kit magazines, you'll see a picture of Howard's dad in there as the president talking to All of his base out there.
Dear friends.
Dear friends, that's what it was. Dear friends. So you're moving on now from Heat Kit to Rig Pie, man. I mean,
well,
you know,
who can be unhappy with working with MFJ now?
Yeah.
That is just a really exciting opportunity for me, and to see him. There's a full page ad, and this in the June, I believe the June QST, the catalog, MFJ catalog. The front cover is nothing but MFJ 1, 2, 3, 4. So Martin has really gone out of the way to market this product, and I'm really pleased.
Well, it's very economical. It's a new product. It does something we've all been wanting for, and you know, I've tried several remote base things out over the past 2 years, and I won't mention what the names of them, but I wasn't real happy with several of them. But this thing here seems to, you know, fit the bill. It does just about everything I wanted, and I hated some of these apps you can get. They work pretty good, but they only work on a Droid phone. They won't work on an Android. I mean, they won't work on an iPhone. So the nice thing about it is this thing will work on any browser you got out there. It doesn't matter what operating system you got. It's going to be a hot seller. Well, Martin, what else you got going? Anything that?
Oh, we brought 25 brand new products here to Dayton to show off, and Richard didn't list what page they're on, so I'm not sure that I can find all of them, but we've got things like a distribution box where you can plug from one antenna up to 4 radios, and you can monitor the entire spectrum. You can take these $10 SDR receivers and monitor everything from VLF all the way up to UHF and above, and use them as a spectrum analyzer. We've got some new receiving loops. I don't even remember what the other ones are.
You got a new radio.
Oh yeah, we've got a new 20 watt SDR radio. Transceiver, yeah, digital transceiver. It's perfect. I mean, 20 watts is almost as good as a full 100 watts. It's like a S unit down.
20 watts will do the job on the bands on sideband for sure. I saw all your guys here. You got a big display here. You always do, but I guess this is one of your biggest here.
Yeah.
You got every one of your companies here.
Yep.
I would try to name them. I'm going to miss them. High Gain, Cushcraft, Meritron, Vectronics, MFJ. Who'd I miss?
Mirage.
Mirage. I missed Mirage.
Yeah. Some rotators.
Yeah. So guys, man, just about everything in ham radio comes from this guy right here at the table.
Mr. Ham Radio.
He's Mr. Ham Radio as far as we're concerned right here. And we really appreciate it. Your prices are very affordable, especially to new people out there. I bet you there's almost no ham shack, I'll say in the United States, maybe the world, that doesn't have an MFJ product in there, whether it be an SWR meter or something.
Well, we're working
you got
that.
a product in nearly every ham's home. Now, how many international distributors do you have, you know?
I don't know how many distributors, but we're in over 35 countries.
35 countries. That's pretty good there. And let's see, you're even in California, where Howard's from, right? That's kind of like another country.
Some people think so.
Is that like a country? Another country?
Yeah,
California.
some people think so.
Yeah, I don't want to, upset any Californians watching now. Hey, it's good to have you guys here today, and it's starting to get warm, and tomorrow's going to be real hot.
Oh.
It's going to be hot in here.
No rain today, though, right?
No rain today. No. So
that's good.
So, are you real active, Howard, in operating, or?
Well, I live in a condo, Tom.
Yeah.
So I can go remote, or I have an indoor buddy pool that I use with my radio and able to get on the air. Not like a full-size Rhombek out in the lower 40, but it lets me operate a little bit. Most of my time is spent creating software. I've been interested in software ever since software was available to human beings in the late 70s. And so I've been in the business for many years, and that's I spend most of my free time working on new software toys.
All right, well, you can always get one of Martin's loops. I hear they work good.
Oh,
the loop antenna.
That'd be
What do you call it?
perfect.
That's the magnetic loop antennas?
That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Now Martin operates, so he's out of town a lot. He goes to hotels. Don't you just put a wire loop up in the window?
Yeah, we have a box that's a loop tuner. This is true loop, and you can just string some wire around a door or around a window frame and connect it to the loop tuner, and you have a true loop. I mean, the loop tuner's got a true butterfly capacitor that has no rotating contacts, and it works really well.
Is that a specific link wire, or just just get the loop as big as you can around the window?
As big as you can, yeah. For the lower band, the larger the loop, but it needs to stay below about less than a quarter of a wave. And you can get some real good efficiency if you stay just a little bit below a quarter wave. Now you can make it smaller and go all the way up to 10 meters and maybe even to 6 meters. So you can go from, if you make the loop big enough, 80 meters, even down to 160. It takes a pretty big piece of wire.
You know, there's a lot of people I'm seeing on Facebook group that are moving these HOAs and they can't put antennas up. But there's always ways to get your antennas out. I mean, one simple way is, and we did it with Walter there, is just run a small piece of wire, you know, a black wire just up to a tree and over to another tree. You can't even see that outside. You can't see it. Put a little auto tuner out there and that thing will work any band just about.
Well, you know, at home, what I have is a piece of enamel wire that's thumbtacked to the wall, and up near the ceiling, I have high ceilings, it goes out maybe 12, 15 feet, and I use that for 40 meters.
There you go. There you go, guys. Breaking news. Mr. Ham Radio, his antenna is a thumbtack piece of wire across his ham shack, and it goes outside a few feet, and he uses that on all bands. So you work a lot of DX with it? You work DX?
Well, my DX is like the next state over.
Yeah, the next state over. you know that's so funny. You know, when we'll get Howard to chime in here, but Martin, when we were novices, that was later than, I mean, he was much earlier than us. It might have been different, but when we were novices, man, if I got Bermuda, that was DX for me. I didn't work much DX when I was a novice. I mean, you know, it just didn't seem to be there.
Yeah, no,
Did you
you're
work a lot
right.
of DX as a novice?
Yeah,
you Howard?
My first DX station was Hawaii.
Wow.
From New Jersey.
Wow.
I remember that contact to this day.
Wow.
I also remember my first contact ever back in February of 1958. So from then I started to experience more and operate on a lot of the HF bands and started to build up the contacts. Then moved from New Jersey to California. Of course, had to start over.
Closer to Hawaii.
Yeah, that's right, closer to Hawaii.
I remember my first contact, 16 years old, just getting into ham radio. There really wasn't any other hams that helped me, although I didn't know it, but another ham moved into my little city of 1,000 people. So here I am, I've got me a nice T150 transmitter my parents bought me, 150 watts, but I was running 75, I was legal. But I didn't have a receiver. In my first contact, I had a Westinghouse, you know, I had like 6 C batteries in it, Westinghouse radio, AM, and it had the shortwave band on it. And the entire 80-meter band was about that long.
About a half inch.
And guess what? It didn't even have a BFO in it.
Oh.
And you know what? I had a signal generator, so I turned the signal generator on to beat to frequency.
That was
I made a
smart.
CQ call. Now, guess what? I got an answer, and I was copying it, man.
Well, what do I do?
Now what do I do? And I tell you, I didn't copy much of it. It shocked me my first contact. I think I had tears coming out of my eyes. I didn't know what was going on. It was a young guy, bricklayer, that had moved into town, lived a few blocks from me, and he called me, and I somehow I realized where he was or who he was. And after that, we bought me a good receiver. We bought me an SX 140 at Hallicrafters.
Wow.
You know, all just ham band only. You know, 80 through 6, and that came out really nice having 6 because back then in the 60s you could hold your tech license and your novice license at the same time. So I was WN5KUB on CW, and I was WA5KUB on 6 meters.
Wow.
So that's some of my experiences there.
You know what I remember in the early days were pages and pages in my logbook of CQ, no answer. CQ, no answer.
I pull some old logs out. CQ, no answer. CQ. You know, we used to have to keep logs back then.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it anymore.
What's a log?
Even if you made a call and nobody answered, you had to log it. That was an interesting time, but it was fun now looking back at some of those old logs to see some of the people that I talked to. In fact, you know, I ran into and I met one of the guys in one of the clubs here. Became a good friend of him at Dayton. He passed away last year, and I was looking through an old log a few months ago, and I saw where I talked to him multiple times when I was in the Air Force.
Wow.
He was in Oklahoma City. So here we are. We became friends here, and I never knew the connection that we talked those previous years. I wish I had found that where we could have talked about it. There are a lot of new people getting into ham radio now. I kind of feel sorry for them. In fact, I kind of almost want to tear up when I see what they're going through now. You know, I mean, back when we got our license, it was different then, how we prepared for it and got the license. There are people now, especially, I guess, with social media, you're starting to see a lot of stuff that it's just weird. You know. Yeah, I got my license now. What kind of radio do I need to get? You know, well, you know, I mean, what do you want? Do you want to work HF? What kind of license you got? You know, and you know, I see comments on there like resonant antennas. How do I know if my antenna's resonant? And one guy says, well, you take your iPhone out, you take the compass, and if you point the antenna north and south, then resonant is east and west. So I see that kind of stuff all the time on there, and man, it really hurts me. It hurts me to see it, and I think you're seeing some of the stuff you told me that you saw it. But you know, it doesn't do any good to jump in here and say no, you're wrong. You know, you don't want to look like a know-it-all. They'll learn eventually. I know I had some stupid things when I first started.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because there were a lot of fun stories out of the old Heathkit days. And one time, they got a hi-fi amplifier in for repair. The guys that built it said, it doesn't work. I don't know what's wrong. So the tech took it in and first of all discovered, it really didn't work. So he took out a screwdriver and opened up the case on the sides and the bottom and looked at it, and he scratched his head and he says, what's all this stuff? Well, it turns out it was spaghetti. Real spaghetti. And the manual instructions said
put spaghetti on the wire.
Put spaghetti on the wire, and this guy did.
Yeah.
So, you know,
you think he maybe kind of cooked it first so it kind of go around the wire, or was it all broken? You know,
it was broken. Oh, man. It was hollow spaghetti, but it was broken.
Well, that was what the problem was. Didn't cook it.
Yeah, that's right. He needed to cook it first.
There's a lot of things. I need to know what time it is.
3:45.
3:46.
Okay.
All right, good. I didn't know if it was approaching 5 o'clock or anything like that. We got an engagement at 6 we're going to go to. So I love talking about these ham rodeo stories, man. You know, it's just great, and I hope that these new people coming on enjoy our stories. You know, Now,
Well,
come on in.
if-
Josh, pull you up a chair there, Josh. Josh is joined us here.
Good.
So,
How you doing, Josh?
Josh, I'm Howard again.
So, guys, you know, one of the neat stories I like to hear from, and several of you guys that watch the show, I know you've heard it before, but I like to talk about Martin and his first shack. And Martin's first shack was they had this little grocery store, or Martin had this. It wasn't a grocery store; it was a general store.
Yeah.
Martin sold everything. There's some stories here, man. Now, but Martin's shack was up in the attic. He didn't even have a floor, and it must have been 180 degrees up there. And you didn't fall through the ceiling, any of it, did you?
No, I was pretty careful.
Hey, Josh, grab it out of the mic if you want to.
Well, I'm not on the frame.
Oh, you're not? We'll see if we can get you in here. That's an interesting show. Probably burned up. See if Walter, can you get all four of us in?
I think I got it.
I don't know if that's possible. Yeah, I enjoy the stories about Martin and his first shack up in the attic of the store, and all the other stories. You know, these are not exactly ham radio stories, but guys, did y'all know Martin used to sell cheese? He used to cut meat. Now, Martin, tell us the story where the meat was so heavy that you just drug it down the floor. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. No, we used to, back in the meat market, we used to have these huge 4 quarters of beef. It would be in the freezer. And, you had to put it on the meat block so you could cut it. Well, to get it out of the freezer, they're just too big. I couldn't pick them up, so I took the easy way out. I just drug it across the floor.
Yeah, I'm sure your floor was clean, wasn't it, in that general store?
Well, it was after I drug it.
After you drug it, it was clean in. It probably kind of looked like it waxed it up, didn't it? Now, I've heard stories. The guys, this is probably going to be X-rated, but I've heard stories where Martin cut the cheese. Now, for some of you guys out there know what cutting the cheese is, tell us about the cheese story, man. Tell us about the cheese story.
Well, we were...
You used to cut cheese, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We had these big hoops of cheese, a wooden container.
Like a wheel?
Yeah, like a wheel and a big piece of cheese in it. And this was back in the 50s when cotton was king, and we used to have these cotton choppers that come to the store for lunch. And they would all get in the back of a pickup truck, and they'd come in the store, and they would buy lunch. And one of their favorite things was some of the hoop cheese. And they would come up and say, they'd say, give me 15 cents worth of cheese. And then they'd buy a pack of crackers and a moon pie and then RC Cola.
RC Cola, moon pie, yeah.
Yeah, and that was their lunch. Well, they would say, I want 15 cents worth of cheese. So you had to cut it by hand. You got pretty good at it, but once in a while you don't get it just right, and you say, how about 17 cents? And I said, no, I want 15 cents. So I fixed that problem. All I did was took a bite out of it and just wrapped it up.
Took a bite off the cheese, man. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, you sold kerosene? You sold everything out there, didn't you?
Kerosene. We didn't call it kerosene back
coal
then. It was coal oil.
Yeah.
There was a hand pump. You pumped it.
What'd you call it?
C-O-A-L. Coal oil.
C-O-A-L.
Yeah.
Cool.
Somewhere else. Am I on?
He's from California, too. He might not even know it. Yeah. He's a young guy.
Kerosene,
he doesn't know what.
White gas. I know white gas. Kerosene. I've heard of that.
Diesel fuel.
Diesel, yeah. Jet A.
Josh is pretty young. He doesn't really know what coal oil is.
But you took a gallon jug and you would, the sprout, and you put the gallon jug over it, and then you would turn the crank and it would fill it up, and once in a while you would just let it slip, and that nozzle would just come out just a little bit, and then it would spray everywhere, and you were all soaked with coal oil.
Well, that sounds dangerous. Anybody catch on fire?
No, I never did catch on fire. I don't think.
Is the store still there, or did the store burn down?
Well, there was a house next to it that caught on fire, and it caught the store on fire.
Yeah. Probably the coil oil kind of
Coil
got
oil.
over there and
Coil
one
oil.
day after you left and burned the store down there.
Everything's just totally saturated after years of the spray everywhere.
The ground was probably coated with coil oil
Right. Well,
over
no,
the years.
once you drag the meat over the top of it and you put the coal oil on it, now you're really in trouble.
All right, well, okay, that's enough of talking about dragging meat down the floor and coal oil. Now, let's talk. It's so great. MFJ has come up with so many products. SWR and watt meters, man. Now, Martin, did you have a SWR meter when you became a novice?
I didn't know what SWR was, didn't know what watts was. I didn't even know what a meter was.
Yeah, we didn't have any of that kind of stuff back then. Oh, did you have one, Howard?
No, absolutely not.
Did Heath get to have a?
They began to have those kinds of products in
little
kind of the
later?
late 50s, late 60s.
So we didn't have SWR meters, and
But let me tell you something we did have. You know, we used to use 300 ohm TV twin lead,
right,
and they had this twin lamp in the handbook, and you could take a strip with 2 light bulbs on it, and you would tape it on it, and you could tune it where one of the light bulbs got bright and the other one got unbright, and when that happened, it would be tuned up. But even before then, with your homemade transmitter, you could have a little flashlight bulb with 2 or 3 turns of wire on it.
Yep.
You hold it near the car and you just tune it up until it got bright, and you were putting power out.
and we didn't have dummy loads either. We used 100-watt light bulbs.
No, but we had a lot of dummies though.
Yeah. So
They were loaded, probably.
We used a light bulb. We tuned that light up for brightness. And how close do you think that light bulb was to 50 ohms? Well, our radios back then had a wide tuning range. It's not like the 50 ohm today.
Well, we didn't much care about dummy load. We just wanted the light bulb to light up.
That's right, man. That's right.
So when did SWR meters come out then?
Well,
maybe the 60s, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. 60. Yeah. That's for our time, man. Now, I did have a Kier. The guy that I told you my first contact. He was a bricklayer, but he was in electronics, and he was always building these big amplifiers. And he'd go to the power company, and he'd get these power poles, the power pigs, the transformers up on a pole, and of course he'd take it out of the bucket and take the oil out and everything, set that 7,000 volt transformer down there by his feet, and he would run those gas rectifier tubes, the blue ones,
866s.
Yeah. He'd always been stuff, but he was a real CW guy, and he would build Kiers, and he gave me my first Kier, and I built some after that, but it was it was electronic Kier, and I had I think it used like a 12AX7 or a 12AU7 tube in it. The transformer thing weighed about 15 pounds. It was about this big, it came out of a TV. The whole Kier was, it was just big, but that's where I got my start with Kiers and, projects like that. Coax. When did coax come out? When do you think coax started coming to being available? I'm sure.
I don't think I ever used coax.
Well, I did. Somehow I got some used coax when I got started. This was 60, so I imagine it was pre-World War II.
Yeah.
I still have some of that today. It's probably 100 years old. Probably. I probably shouldn't use it, but
it's mature.
It's mature now, but.
Little lossy, I mean.
Yeah, it probably is.
You think?
So, you didn't use coax, you used twin lead or something.
Well, yeah, what we had back then was 300 ohm TV twin lead, but we also had 72 ohm twin lead.
Oh, okay.
And then also there was this cloth covered twisted power line cord,
I've seen that.
You could use that. It was super lossy, but that's what we had, and the wire we used. You could buy a roll of copper well wire from BA, Bernstein Appleby, and or you could get an old electrodynamic speaker and unwind the magnet wire off of it. It was soft wire. You could stretch it out. It would last for a little while, then it would sag and would break, and you have to go back out there and put it up again.
I never bought any wire or anything when I got my novice license. I always scrounge wire up somewhere. You can always find wire. And we didn't even know what a balun was back then.
Oh, no.
I still don't.
We didn't. Yeah, we didn't have balance back then. Look at all that.
It was all twin lead, right? You wouldn't need a balance, right?
Well, no, with coax.
Well.
I had coax, but no balance.
Yeah.
Just
At some point.
Just right off the shield, just fan it out like on a dipole or whatever.
So,
Really?
so we didn't even have balance back then. We didn't have watt meter, little SWR meters.
You use a choke, common mode choke, or anything?
No,
on the
I don't
feed line?
even think we used that. Probably.
Yeah. We didn't know much back then.
We didn't know much back then.
Don't touch the case of that radio; it'll bite you.
That was just a little after the spark gap went out back then, so we didn't know about all that.
Oh no, you used to run, throw a random wire out the window and hook it to the radio, and you would wonder why when you touched the radio you got burned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I once got an amplifier, 500 watt Johnson half kilowatt amplifier, and I put up an antenna like we're describing now. That wasn't quite matched, and my folks happened to go to a party next door. My dad came home later that night and says, the funniest thing ever, all the lights in the house next door were blinking in Morse code. Was that you? So that's a new definition of using light bulbs as a dummy load, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, today there's just not interference like we had back when we were hams. Today everything's on a closed coax, cable systems, satellite systems, of course, receiving different frequencies. But back when we started off, Channel 2 was pretty easy to get into, and you could really make those probably herringbone lines on channels 5 and 13, and I mean, so we used low-pass filters back then.
Mm-hmm. Well, back then, even if you weren't on the air, everyone would blame you for their interference.
That's true.
Oh, they do that now.
That's true.
I put up a hex beam, and somebody complained that I was distorting their Wi-Fi and cell phone coverage. Just the hex beam on my roof.
We put a hex beam up, or Tommy had a hex beam in his backyard for a couple years using it 10 feet off the ground. I gave him my tower, and we put up about 40 feet over his house, put that hex beam up there, and man, did he start getting complaints. My Wi-Fi's not working, my cell phone's not working, everything, But those people finally gave up and moved away there.
That's one way to get rid of a problem.
Yeah.
I just tell them pound sand. That doesn't operate that way. They're totally different systems.
So, we don't have the interference issues, and maybe the radios maybe are a little better now and have better filtering.
I still do, actually. I get problems with random appliances now, believe it or not. My refrigerator's a nightmare. My TV, some of the newer TVs, very poorly grounded, from my experience.
A lot of the interference now is reverse. Instead of us causing the interference, we hear it.
Especially with all the grows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should.
The grow lights are awful.
Yeah. Well, I remember
grow lights out in California.
Oh, we've got grow lights everywhere.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And they're noisy.
What part of California?
Near San Francisco, Mill Valley.
Well, we got them down south too, and they're just as noisy.
Yeah, right.
Chip Margelli, he's got a real expensive radio. I don't know, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 radio. He took it out to Wyoming to Katie's house a while back, and he hooked it up. He was going to operate out there, and he turned it on, and the S meter wasn't even moving. It was at 0.
Wow.
And he thought, man, my $7,000 radio's no good. There wasn't any noise out there in Wyoming. They live way out in the middle of nowhere, and it was perfectly quiet.
So I had that happen recently. We had a power outage. Somebody, Mylar balloon, hit a transformer and shut down
the entire city.
Entire city down, and then it just went all the way down to 0. And I'm picking in all these S0, S1, perfectly legible people coming in, and I was grabbing the camera, getting it on. And I'm like, you see this? This is amazing. It's not, the bands aren't dead. The bands are just all choked out with all this random noise. An hour later, I got the camera on, lights come back on, and you could just see it just, and it just blew everything out again. It was a sad evening.
So you had your radio on battery?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I had something on my mind. I forgot what it was. Oh, I know what it was. sunspot cycle's not great for contacts now. Everybody's saying the bands are dead. There's signals out there. The interesting thing is when there's a contest, there's people everywhere, man.
Yeah. We were just joking about that. That's because the ARRL, they've got a big switch, and right before the contest goes on, they shift the switch up and say, okay, the bands are open, guys, jump on.
Yeah.
And then if you watch right at the end, when you hit the end of the contest,
they turn it off. Yeah.
Pull the power and kill it.
How else would you know?
Yeah, how else would you know?
Yeah.
It's not like there's people out there.
Yeah.
All right, so what else we've talked? Let's talk about anything else. Olden days. You got any good stories about the olden days, man?
Oh, man.
We got to keep the tradition going and let these new people know how bad it was back then, man. You know, like I know you and I both. We walked to school every day uphill.
I did.
Both ways. It was uphill.
2 miles.
2 miles uphill both ways.
Yep.
And it was snowing.
It did snow in New Jersey.
That's it, yeah.
Absolutely did.
But now you look at my shack, and I guess as you get older and you're not working and you're retired and you feel like you can't take the money. Like Martin says, you can't take it with you. So now I got a lot of radio equipment. I didn't have that when I was a teenager or growing up, or even my adult life. Married kids. But we had very simple setups back then.
Oh yeah.
It was nothing, man. Transmitter, receiver, maybe a switch.
Yeah, that's all you
switch the
need.
antenna. Maybe a knife switch. Put the knife switch over, that's the receive, and the knife switch back over was transmit.
Oh, well, that was deluxe.
Deluxe?
Yeah. More practical way is use an alligator clip.
Oh, use an alligator clip.
Yeah, that you forget to move over.
Yeah.
Did you keep one hand behind your back when you did that?
Yeah.
I remember when I was in college, we had a college station, and lucky enough to have a Johnson desk kilowatt. I think I may have mentioned this story once before. That would tune up on 11 meters.
Yeah.
That was in the days of the CD world. And one time we fired it up and put a dead carrier on for about 10 seconds and released the carrier, and a channel that had just been packed with chanter and heterodynes and all. It was absolutely quiet. Nobody there. And finally, a voice spoke up. Somebody went into transmit and said, "What the H was that?"
Oh, yeah.
So that was my glorious days as a college student. That was probably the least controversial of the things that I did when I was in school.
Controversial in college. Let's see. I'm doing some balloon launches now.
Yeah.
But in college, I remember we were over in the lab, the chemistry lab, one night late, and we got this idea. We took these clear plastic clothes bags, and we taped them all together and sealed them up, and made it like a balloon, like a 12-foot balloon.
Oh yeah.
And we filled it up with natural gas from the Bunsen burner.
I was going to ask if it was hydrogen or natural gas.
It's natural gas.
I saw where this is going.
So we were getting ready to launch this sucker, and the next thing, and I had a ham friend there in a town that worked for the FAA, and he was going to try to track this balloon for us, the FAA. So he calls Little Rock and tells them, "Yeah, we got some kids down here going to launch this balloon. It's filled up with natural gas, and it's going to be flying around." The next thing I know, the dean of the college calls us over into his office. "Medlin, I hear you're fixing to launch a balloon with natural gas in it. I don't think that's a good idea." So that was early years of balloon launches. Now it wouldn't have gone very far anyway. But hey, we're getting excited about our balloon launches now. And we're going to do another one tomorrow.
So did one go up today?
No, well, not of ours. Someone may have launched one.
Oh, all right.
We're hoping that by tomorrow, ours shows up over Turkey or makes it into Europe and picks back up with APRS. Right now, it's down over Africa, and there's no tracking there. So we think it's going to show up probably in the next day or two.
Okay.
Let's see, what else crazy did we do? Oh, I put a radio station on out of my dorm room at college. Yeah, I built a 6146, we call it KRUD, CRUD, and we put it on, and somehow we got a crystal. The guy gave us a crystal on like 1200 and something, So we put that on, we ran about a 100-foot long wire out the window, and Well, it was fun for a while. The cars would drive by and say, "If you're listening, flash your lights," and we'd see lights flashing out there. But we didn't continue that too long.
So that was something I didn't know about. It was you used to shave the crystals, right?
Yeah.
You actually had to tune the crystal by taking material off. You can't put it back on, right?
That's called QSY.
QSY, bring out the sander, smooth it out.
You could put it stuff on it.
You can go up too.
Take it off. You take the crystal apart and take the pencil lead and then rub on it.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So that was common. And toothpaste, you put toothpaste on it. And, toothpaste is an abrasive, and it will actually take some off. But did you ever see some of the guys would modify the crystals and put a little tuning knob on them?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And it would put pressure on that crystal. It put pressure on, take pressure off by turning it tuning knob.
They had a commercial version of that.
Yeah.
Of course, you probably didn't know necessarily what frequency you
Well,
might have
you
been on.
listened to,
It
really.
was just not the person you were listening to before that time, right?
Well, and you really didn't care because all of us novices had all different crystals. None of us had the same frequency. So you'd make a call on the 7100. You make a call on 7100, and you might get an answer on 7110. So we had to tune around and listen for our call.
Yeah. You call CQ on one frequency, then you quit calling CQ, then you tune your receiver, hoping that somebody would answer you back.
Right.
Yeah, operating on different frequencies.
And that was back when you weren't calling CQ, it was shave and a haircut, right?
You would call it, but shaving a haircut, 6 bits, whatever.
We do it now, and it's called split.
Split.
Yeah.
And sometimes it didn't do any good, but sometimes we'd swap crystals. You take my 7100 day, and let me have your 7110, but you're still talking to each other on a split.
Same guy.
Same guy. So,
You kids don't know how easy you have it.
They don't know how easy it is. If we had the radios back in the 60s that are out there now,
you wouldn't know what to do.
Man, it would be like, it's like we're on Star Trek or something. We would have gone into the future, wouldn't we? It was, it's amazing, man, what you got now in a box and how stable it is, and the VFOs and everything.
I mean, when we're talking about the timekeeping of a lot of these radios, they have to be so accurate because they're communicating to satellites, for instance, right? And so or FT8, right, down to less than a second for an accurate QSO, right? I mean, so that's all stuff we take for granted, right? But really, it's an effort. It took a long time to get to this point.
Can you imagine an iPhone with a crank?
Yeah.
Hello, number 9.
Yeah, the rotary iPhone, that's going to be coming out soon, I think.
That's right, like an old iPod.
Yeah, the wheel, that's right. Yeah.
Well, I enjoy talking about the old times because they were so much fun. It doesn't seem like fun anymore. You turn the radio on, you talk to Africa, you turn the radio off, you go back in the other room. But back then you had to work for it. It might take you 3 years to get to Africa,
Well, you were talking about college. Do you know what Dr. Tissues is? Dr. Tissue antiseptic.
Yeah.
They used to make these little bottles of Dr. Tissue, and in my dorm room, I think I had an NCX3, 80 meter, 40 meter, 20 meter, one of the very early sideband radios. It was that or the HW, what was the 20 meter version?
There was was there like a 12 and a 14?
HW20.
SW20, the 20 meter single bands.
Yeah, monobanders.
Yeah. Anyway, I used to tie a piece of wire onto the neck of empty Dr. Tissue bottle and throw it out the window.
Yeah.
And just plug it into the radio, and you could tune it up because of the pi network that was in it.
Yeah, it would match such a wide range of things.
Yeah, I didn't know you're supposed to have a ground.
Well, I didn't know you're supposed to throw a Dr. Tishner's bottle over a tree, man.
Yeah.
That goes way back, man. I don't even know if Dr. Tishner's still around for these young guys.
I think they are.
I don't even know what that is.
What about Carter's Little Liver Pills? You ever get any of those?
We used to sell that, but see, Dr. Tissue is like an ointment. It's an antiseptic, but it had alcohol in it. And what people would do would be, they would take a bottle of Coke and pour a bottle of Dr. Tissue in it. They would drink it.
With the antiseptic?
Yeah, it had for the alcohol.
Well,
That's one way of getting there, I guess.
Yeah,
See,
But-
we even have it easier getting drunk now.
that's
You
right.
just go buy some beer. It's a lot easier.
well, any other good stories? I like stories, man.
We got, we'll come out with some more.
Okay, yeah, maybe next day or two we'll talk
Yeah.
some more about some of our stories, and have another fun here reminiscing about the old days before Josh was born.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yes.
Everything we
Well,
talked about was that.
I didn't know most of this stuff.
You didn't know this stuff happened back then, did you, man?
No.
This is back when cars were steam powered, man. This is way back there.
And they were horse powered.
Yeah, horsepower.
We used to have customers come to shop with us with a horse and wagon.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, they would come to town, pull in a wagon with a horse.
Did any of them ever put like a mobile rig on there? On that wagon?
Yeah, what kind of radio would you do for that? You
Put a
know?
battery.
How do you keep the battery charged?
Well,
You gotta hook an alternator to a horse.
or
That seems like a problem.
solar panels, maybe. But
A gas converter.
we're being
Yeah.
photographed here. Looks like.
But,
Yeah.
Talk about calculations back in our days when we were in school. All we had was a piece of paper and a pencil. And if you wanted to draw a curve, nowadays you simulate everything. You got. But back then you had to calculate 1 point at a time, and all you had was a piece of paper and a pencil. And man, to get 1 point was a lot of work.
I had drafting and all that. My first thing I ever drew was a 3-speed electric milk churn with a 1-speed motor. I think that's the first thing I drew.
Oh, drafting.
Drafting. Yeah. So, but now everything's computerized. All your CAD stuff and everything, man.
Well, once you calculated the data points by hand, or you took data points experimentally, then you had to draw a curve, and you would use a French curve, and you try to make it fit. I mean, you basically kind of faked the curve.
Oh yeah. You had to fake the curve, man. Unless you wanted to plot about 100 more points in there.
And use the rubber manual to look up all of your sines and cosines.
Oh yeah.
I'd have probably done better. Kids nowadays, they have these scientific calculators and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's basically a computer in your hand.
Yeah, they have a computer. I had a slide rule, and I had to put baby powder. You had a slide rule when you were in school?
Yeah.
Did you ever put baby powder on it to make it slide?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Put the baby powder on that bamboo slide wheel so it slide in and out and calibrate that sucker and
raises the computational frequency.
That's right, man. I tell you, I wish I had a calculator back then. I just didn't like that slide rule, man.
Oh man, that slide rule was the best. You could do everything with a slide rule.
Well, you remember the HP 35 when it first came out? That was the first scientific calculator.
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask, wasn't that like $500 when it came out?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was in that day's money, right?
That's right.
That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
Do you remember when we used to multiply by adding?
That's the way computers do it now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Let's ask Josh about that. Does that make any sense? You multiply numbers by adding numbers.
Well, it makes sense to me. I'm a software engineer, so I kind of know how the algorithms play out, and the computers generally work that way.
Okay, but what I'm talking about, this is more of an analog way. That's how slide rules work. But anyway.
Yeah, so like 3 times 5, it's 5, 3. It's
no,
three fives.
not that way.
No, okay, then no, I
let's
don't
say,
get this at all.
Let's say 3 times 5. What you would do, you take the number 3 and you look up the logarithm of it. Okay, then you write the logarithm down to 3, and then you take and look up the logarithm of 5. You write that down, and you would add that up, and what you added up, you looked up the anti-log of that, and that would give you the 3 times 5. Yeah. That's basically what you do on the slide rule. The two scales of the slide rule are logarithmic scales, and you would just move them, and you basically add them. The length of it would add.
That's almost as bad as the new math today, Yeah.
Everything new is old, right? So
Yeah,
that's
what
really
goes
what it
around
comes down
comes
to.
around.
They're going to be
Comes
handing
around,
out
man.
slide rules
Yeah.
as like construction paper slide rule, though.
Yeah.
Really have something new come out.
Oh, you used to do everything. I mean, you could do complex numbers with slide rules. I mean, they made it easy.
I mean, Apollo was built on the slide rule, right? I mean, that's the
Yeah.
line we use a lot in
And
aerospace.
it made it there and back, man. Yeah.
It did. It did.
Well, during the Apollo days, during the early space days, they had computers, but the computer was a room full of women. They would hand calculate that stuff.
Oh wow.
They were called computers.
Computeresses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what computer they had on board wasn't much. I understand
yeah.
now.
You run a program
A
and
gift card.
you
A
have-
gift card has as much computing power.
Yeah. Yeah, the first iPhone, I think, had so many times the power of the Apollo mission's processing power. Just impressive.
Well, those things, I mean, they worked on those simple programs for so long. They were about as bug-free it could get, and they wouldn't change software because it worked.
Right.
I mean, you had to load a program in it, run it, and then when you wanted to do something else, you had to load another program in. It was a tiny program.
That's the Y2K problem, right? And all the old software that nobody ever fixed, and now there aren't any programmers left.
So, Josh, were you involved in Y2K, or was that pre-college, or?
That was pre-college for me, but I was
Yeah.
doing IT at the time for the high school that I went to, which is always kind of fun. Nobody knew how to work on computers, so they're like, hey, give this kid the job. He seems to like computers. And yeah, we had some of the most snake oil salesmen I've ever heard of, like showing up saying, "Oh, all this stuff's gonna happen bad with Y2K, and you gotta run this patch, and you gotta do this, you gotta do that." And I'm like, I just set the date forward a day, and nothing happened. I don't think
hey,
computers have anything
at
to worry
FedEx,
about.
we started 2 years before
Yep.
preparing for it, and we didn't know what was going to happen. Everybody was saying, the rockets are going to launch, and it's the end of the world,
That's it,
and all
yeah.
that, man.
War games.
And nothing happened. I wake up the next morning, and it's like we worked for 2 years, and nothing's happened.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, they'd still say Unix was the bigger problem, right? Was it 2065 or 35, something like that? But, it's like all things. There will be some computers that probably don't start up in the morning or they crash, but it's not going to like fire Z missiles kind of thing or melt down the reactor.
Well, hey guys, let's just ask a question again. What's next on Rig Pie? You got anything planned, or is it going to?
Well, there's been a lot of interest, Tom, in remote paddles. I'm really surprised. We guys that want to use a paddle from wherever.
Yeah.
There are timing and jitter issues involved with that have to be solved.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to be working on that very soon.
How do you do that with an iPhone or
You'll need a RigPi Junior.
I see. Okay.
So a device to go in between your iPad or iPhone,
or connects to the internet directly.
The keyer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see.
Yeah. So
That'd be neat.
it's hard to say what form it's going to take. There are a lot of people that have tried, excuse me, but a lot of problems with delay and character delays. And
right.
So there's a lot of buffering and anti-jitter stuff that has to be done to get rid of that.
Mm-hmm.
And the Raspberry Pi isn't the world's fastest processor, so that is...
No, it's not.
Even though it's interrupt driven, you can get interrupts in and out, but even so, that might not be fast enough. So it's a continuing proposition.
So that, yep. I see Dave over there. I got to say hi to Dave.
All right, well, guys, hey, thank you for coming by, and we'll do it again one day,
Yeah, I will be
Sunday,
back.
Sunday or something. If you guys are around, Martin, if you want to do it again Sunday, we'll talk again. Or,
Great.
Okay.
Thank you, Tom, for having us.
Our friend Doug Wheelock, astronaut Doug Wheelock, will be here tomorrow. Hopefully all day. So we'll flip that off. There we go. All right. I think we had a good discussion here. Had a lot of fun. We'll get Hambot cranked back up, and we'll get some Hambot stuff going here in just a minute. All right, so guys, we'll be back with you in just a moment. Create your own band openings. ICOM newest SDR transceiver, the IC9700, is coming soon. This new radio is bringing direct sampling to the UHF VHF weak signal world. The IC9700 is an all-mode transceiver loaded with innovative features such as dedicated amateur satellite operation, color touchscreen, D-Star capability built in, RF direct sampling on 2 meters and 70 centimeter bands. It has a dual independent receiver capable of full duplex operation as well as dual watch, and 100 watts max output on 2 meters, 75 watts on 70 centimeters, and 10 watts on 1.2 gigahertz. Visit www.icomamerica.com/amateur for more information on ICOM radios. All right, we should be back here. All right, hey guys, we're gonna crank Hambot up in here today. All right, we're gonna do a Hambot here real quick, guys. Let's get Hambot cranked up and let's get him going here. Let me find Hambot. Here it goes. All right, so Hambot is trying to. Oh yeah, I think Hambot's going to give out a 1-to-1 current balun valued at. Let's see, this is from LDG, I think, a current 1-to-1 current balun. All right, this is for a 1-to-1 current balun, so Hambot's going to pick a name there. All right, everybody, just stand by and don't chat while we're giving away prizes. That way we can see you answer better. All right. So, hey, guys, just a quick announcement again. We appreciate everybody watching. We're giving away about 50 prizes, about $8,000 worth of prizes. We're going to give away one prize to donors that help us support the webcast. The webcast costs us $3,000 to $4,000. It's probably going to come in about $3,500 this year. That's a lot of money. If you've noticed, we're 100% bringing Ham Radio to you. That's all we're doing. We're not shopping or anything. So for every $10 a person donates, we're going to put your name in a hat for the CA 500 antenna analyzer. $20 will get you 2 tickets in. $30 get you 3 tickets in. It is a great antenna analyzer. I think it's one of the best out there. It goes up to 500 megahertz. Great counter. We got a picture of it on the donate page. So go up to the donate page. Help us out to pay our expenses on this trip to bring this webcast to you. We're streaming 50 hours of hamvention to you guys. It is hot in here. You probably see my hair looks a mess, and we've been kind of sweating in here. It's been hot. We got fans running, but we're still enjoying it. Hope you're enjoying the conversation we had with Josh and Martin and Howard a few minutes ago. You don't have to be present the CAA 500 if you donate to help us out on this trip. You do not have to be present to win. If we call your name, you win it. We'll ship it to you. You don't have to say I'm here. You don't have to be present. Nothing. If we pick your name, you win it. So the donations are going to cut off at midnight tomorrow night, Saturday, and then we'll announce the winner of the CA 500 on Sunday about noontime. That's for our people that support our webcast. We really appreciate it. If you can't support us, if you can't donate, that's okay. Don't worry about it. We hope you enjoy the show. There's 50 other prizes that are free out there to everybody, and we wish you good luck.
Now that's cool. That's cool.
Oh, you like this?
all my stuff. I mean, that's our trash area.
I sit out.
Yeah. And now you're on the hot seat.
Oh yeah, I had that. So did I tell him? So I'm using the drink. Since that, like,
This one going out live?
Yeah.
A friend of mine coming from Argentina. Go and sit in front of the camera.
They're right there.
I was under the shade, relaxing my leg.
Stand out there and look on the monitor and see yourself. There you go. There you go. Welcome. Say hi. Say hi.
What?
So,
Quem é que tá vendo? Oh.
everybody is going all over the world.
Hello. Hello for all the run radios. I'm Claudia. I'm speaking from Xenia Run Fest in Ohio.
Yes.
Brazil. I'm from Brazil.
How do you know I was from Argentina? I recognize you.
you are Argentina, right?
Yes.
Okay. Kiko, beijo para você diretamente de Xenia, Ohio. Me and Gas. Ok. Bye.
That's Casey for JVE. You see?
You see?
Hello from Xenia.
Bye.
Going out live.
There's about a 20-second delay.
Okay.
So when you see you, it's about 20 seconds later. If you're on the phone.
Am I going to be able to? Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, he'll see you 20 seconds later. When you say hello, 20 seconds later, he'll see you. It's on YouTube. It's recorded.
Okay, but after you guys get done, will this still be available for
It'll be on every day.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, great.
We have a ham radio show every Tuesday. Every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Ham radio show.
Online.
Yeah, on WFKU. A ham radio show.
Oh.
So tune in. And we have telephone numbers. We have telephone numbers in every country.
Oh, there you are.
Where you can call into the show. I have local numbers in Brazil and local numbers in Argentina. And sometimes we open the phone lines and you can call in on the show.
Every Tuesday. 8 p.m. Central Time.
Yeah, that would be
7.
right now 0100.
Oh. PM is 9. It'll be 9.
8 p.m. our time.
Yeah, 9.
But see, when we hit daylight savings, it changes an hour. Right now it's at 0100. In the winter time, that's 0200. Well, yeah, well, let me tell you what we do. I've got a few sponsors that sponsor our weekly show. But like this show, to do this live TV type show, it's going to cost us about $3,000. This streaming is 15 hours. In fact, our drive is about 10 hours. Drive. We are live. We're live on WFKU. We're live. You can watch this drive.
Yeah?
Yeah, for 10 hours Monday. We're going back. So tune in Monday and you'll watch this drive home. You'll watch the sleep stop.
No,
That happens.
yeah?
We have a chat room. We have a chat room where people can talk to us These people are watching the show right now. They're all over the world, you know. They're all over the world. There's people in England. Let's see. There's England's in here. Australia's in there. There's just about everywhere. I see Canada. We have people from Australia everywhere watching, you know. So you can on our website, if you just go here, you can watch the video and you can see they have the chat room both.
It's totally easy. That's how I've watched the video for several years. This is my first time actually here.
Okay. Yeah. So you asked how we support it. We've got a few sponsors. I run a couple of commercials for Icon. They help us a little bit. It's very expensive for us to put this on, over $3,000. But we're also giving away $10,000 in prizes. People watching. We've got a program over
Even
there.
when it's open, it's kind of quiet.
It'll pick a name. It'll pick a name, and we call that name. And you may win an antenna analyzer.
But
if you answer,
you got a beam.
You have to be in the room paying attention. So that when they call you answer.
You win.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't answer, we give it to someone else.
It works. When it's open, there's people out there.
All right. Thank you.
Whereabouts are you again?
You're up that way.
Yeah. You probably would do all right with 6 meters. I know we're supposed to have. Do you have any repeaters?
I haven't tried any
6 meter FM?
We have some, but I've never tried one.
Yeah. Oh no, there are. I know.
I still think it's being up like when I did go there, we go behind the so I think that's all right, let's go meet you. I can see that.
Yeah, you going to the.
Usual stuff. Done. So I had the 3 wallets. Well, one I almost I think got the same thing last year. But one is more in the March. Yeah. Brian is in charge of that. He said that almost every boy sign up. Yes. So I really have March. Yeah, I was working on it.
This lady over there. Trying to get a part of this one. Fine, Paul.
I have 1 or 2 we can upload to the screen if you want, whenever you want.
Okay. Is Jeff getting he's supposed to be getting some. You know, Helicraft has that gate for him. Oh, really? Yeah. If Jeff don't get it, I think he wants to get that one. Okay. Yeah, that's something that everyone wants to see. We're gonna leave. We're gonna pack up about 5 and leave. I've got we're going to dinner at Lone Star or whatever. Lone Star or Longhorn. My friend that it was my college roommate 50 years ago. He's here. And I've seen him twice in 50 years. So he wants to go to dinner. They're driving a camper. So we all have to go in different cars. So you and Walker can go with us. And we're going to go and eat. So hopefully we'll be eating by about 6. So we're going to shut down right at 5 o'clock. Get the truck and then out of here. Okay?
That's going very good. Hey, we're recording now, right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
So that will happen tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Missing a great show for not being down here. Tom only can do so much for you. If anyone's watching her.
I told Tommy that so he can go off. upgraded from 20,000 to 40. And we're hitting 64,000 out of 40,000. Last 2 hours, we're hitting 10,000 out of 8,000 limit. Although I've talked to them, they said it's not going to cause any issues. So I don't know. CPU, 24 hours, we get 17,000 out of. Now this is hosted by a company called Site Ground. No, it's shared. Although it's shared less, I upgraded it, shared less. I mean, there's not as many people on it. About the what? Rig 5? Well, I was one of the beta testers and helped Howard develop a lot of it. You know, I found a lot of bugs. I made a lot of suggestions. I helped, with a lot of different pieces of screen layout to the functions and so forth. He wrote the code. It's a little, you got to use Mumble for audio. You got to run Mumble for audio. Yeah, right. It's already on there. It starts up, the Mumble server starts up, that's for the audio.
Attention, Hampton guests. Attention, Hampton guests.
On your PC, you're going to have to download Mumble. It's free.
Upon the era
It's like
is
voice
on
over IP
site.
protocol.
Please go to the
So you
t-shirt
run
booth,
Mumble,
the Hampton t-shirt
and
booth.
that'll
Thank
be
you.
your audio connection, and then Rick 5 does your.
They don't include anything in the plans.
It's included in the Rig 5. Mumble is in the Rig 5. You got to load Mumble on your remote, like your laptop. Just talk.
I kind of knew to use my phone.
I got it. I get it on my phone. On the phone, it's called Mumble. T-U-M-B-L-E. It's the same thing. It's just your phone. So you just download Mumble or Mumble, and there's a help out here to help set it up. I was real confused making Mumble work when I first started a year ago. I didn't understand what all it was. It turned out pretty simple. Most everybody's doing okay. You may have a little trouble setting it up. You do the user group can answer all your questions.
And I guess MFJ has their own app for everyone.
No, there is no app for that. No. Any browser.
Oh, okay.
Just put a browser up. That's what makes it so neat. You don't have to run an app or anything. And it'll work on Apple, it'll work on Android, it'll work on Unix, it'll work anywhere. Anywhere there's anywhere you can get a browser. Not really. They all work. Any browser is all you need.
Can I have your attention, please? Would a Mr. Dale Knox, with a call sign WA3ISH, please come to the inside exhibit office in building 2? Again, Dale Knox, if you could come to the inside exhibit office in building 2. Thank you.
Guys, I'm going to introduce you to the guy that has the crank-up tower on his head. We're going to get Sam over here. I want you to look at this tower. Sam has a rotatable antenna on a tower here. Crank up tower, actually.
Did you make up your own cables? Interface cables?
I did because the cables weren't available when I was testing. What are you put on 7300? You don't require anything but a USB cable. One USB cable.
That's for the rig control, right?
It'll do everything. Even audio.
Well, actually, I mean, Richard stuff just gave me.
Yeah. Okay. You can make the 7300. Here's the problem you turn on. So it's USB into this pod. It'll do the audio across there and do the remote control. You do both. You don't have to hook up. Sam. Yes. Hey Sam, come out here a minute, Sam. I want to get you on the show here, man. We'll get you on here every year, man. Let's get this thing turned around here. We got it. We got it right here. Come here, Sam. Where are you? All right, come on, step over here, Sam.
Okay.
Hey guys, I want you to look at this guy here. This is Sam. Well, Sam, I can't even remember your call. It's the N8 something.
N8 VES.
VES, yeah.
November.
Are you still a president of the DARA?
No, that was last year.
Okay.
This year I've taken a break.
Okay.
I'm just a committee volunteer. And,
okay. All right. Very good.
Walking around.
Let's walk back just a little bit. I'm gonna aim this up just a little bit. There we go.
Okay.
I want you guys.
Here you see the hat. And
all right, now look. Hey, and the crank up tower actually works.
Oh yeah, it does crank up. If you want to hold the microphone.
Yeah, let me hold it. You crank it up. You crank it up.
Now get enough wire out here so I can do this. Right.
You got to crank it up, and you got an active antenna on top there too, man. It's working.
Well, the tower acts as a counterpoise for the 2-meter antenna.
Oh, is it? Is it? Okay.
So it makes a very, very efficient antenna.
Yeah. Okay. So he's cranking the tower up right now. The tower's going up right now. All right. You're okay. Bring it on back down. And well, does it rotate or not?
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. It rotates that way. I got you.
That's called headstrong
based
rotation.
on what's that like? Ron 20 or 25 or 40?
It's supposed to be an imitation of Ron 25.
Okay, so if that's Ron 25, the cable coming down must be like 3-inch diameter.
Well, yeah, that's an LMR. That's an LMR
LMR 8000.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. The hardline wire.
Yeah, that's right, man. Do you have any balance problems with that thing? Stay on pretty good?
No, it's not that bad. I mean, I'm pushing 60, so I'm still, I'm still able to do it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm still able to do this. All right. So I've had a lot of fun with this. This thing's almost, it's going on 20 years old now. The entire hat. Yeah, it's pretty.
We started with a hard hat like that about 18 years ago. We put the little cam up there. And in
I've seen that one.
In fact, on the Hamvention page down at the bottom, you've got a picture of our helmet cam down here.
Exactly.
Link to our site.
Yes.
That's what we used 18 years ago. A hard hat like that, had a camera on here.
Right.
But it caused a lot of problems. Back then, our internet connection was real slow.
Oh, of course, we didn't have what was called broadband.
Yeah, and when you turn that camera, everything gets kind of fuzzy and blurry, and
yeah.
And I could never tell where the camera was aiming, and we were turning our head all the time, and people were getting so dizzy they were taking Dramamine. So we kind of decided to go kind of fix cameras and get away from the helmet.
Right. I remember you also had the cart. Now you still So you're going to be out with the cart.
We haven't brought the cart here the last couple of years. We've just kind of stayed fixed. We're going out and getting video and then bringing it back.
Good. I mean, because you have some excellent videos.
Yeah. So let's see. Wants to know how many times you run under a low banner and got your head jerked back. You ever hit anything with that?
Oh my God! These they have these electrical outlets that hang down from the ceiling, and I'm hitting them all the time. I mean, because I don't really see them. I know they're there, but I don't see them. And it's just the next thing you know, it's bang, bang.
Let me tell you, I see a danger there because the width of one of those elements there could possibly go into a receptacle, maybe.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man.
I've been close.
That'd be like lightning hitting it, wouldn't it?
I can see. Well, I've already got curly hair, so it just
Yeah.
makes it even curlier when I get myself electrocuted like that. But
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't have like a chin strap here. It looks like you got to be careful.
it does have they do have it tightly around the,
I
the
get you.
headband.
What's the switch on the back do?
The switch is for the lights.
Oh, you got lights on it. Oh, okay.
You should be able to see the lights.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
it.
Turn it. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah, I see the light.
Yeah, the lights should be there.
No, they're not on. You must have a bit dead battery. Flip it the other way.
Let's see if I.
What?
Are they on?
I don't see the lights aren't on. They're like now. Oh,
yeah, they're on.
One came on. No.
Yep.
No, wait a minute. No, they're not on. They're not on. That's the light shining through over here. Man, up.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
barely. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the battery's kind of old. I'm gonna have to put a new battery into it.
You got a what is it, FAA violation going here.
Well, that's why
your lighting is.
That's why we put the lights on it.
Well, your lights aren't working, so I see a fine coming.
Yeah.
Your antenna seems to have a little slack in it up here when you rotate.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the bearings have probably gotten stripped a little bit. Oh man.
It's time for a new beam up there. I had another guy I was talking to today, and he says, "You want to put a quad on there?" I said, "Well, if you want to build me one, I'll be more than happy to put it on there." It took 3 days to build this, and I actually set it up on. I made myself a form just in a block, and then set it up in it, and then actually just soldered it and brazed it with a torch and some solder, and put it together. And it took about 3 days to do it.
I see you got a couple runs bent. That's typical on a tower. I mean,
I mean, when you talk about something that's almost 20 years old.
Oh yeah,
it's gotten a lot of abuse out here at Hamilton,
but
and this is the only place I actually wear it.
It's holding up really well, though.
Oh yeah. I mean,
no guy wires either. That's self-supporting.
Self-support, yeah. Self-supporting.
How far does that go down in the brain right there, man? That's cool. That's cool.
Oh, Christy, she's real nice. I mean, she's got an original design. She puts her hair up, and then she puts a lot of hairspray into it, and she's even got it lit up and got some lights into it. So she's gotten creative with it. I'm really glad she did that. She's been doing that for several years now.
Let me tell people what we're talking about here. What's her name?
Her name is Christy.
Christy.
Yeah.
There's this girl that comes by now. She has her hair put up into a shape of a tower. Probably a couple feet high, man, and she's got lights in it. I think.
Yes, she's got lights in it.
And an antenna on it or not?
I believe there's an antenna on it. She's got lights in it, an antenna. Okay, she's got her call sign into it and lights and
yeah.
So she's a. Plugged into the matrix. Lightning rod during a storm. Yes.
Yeah, that's right, man. That's right.
No. This is not a lightning rod, guys. There's no way. This is not a lightning rod. This is a sunshine attractor.
That's right. That's right, man. Well, you must not have been out last night, did you? Right?
Well, no.
Yeah. Of
course we know. Yeah, that's her name. Yeah, Kristen Andrews. Yeah.
Oh, is that? Oh,
Yeah.
Show closes in 5 minutes, so we're gonna probably start laying stuff down and get out of here. We got another place to go.
Okay.
Good to see you, Sam.
All right. Good to see you.
All right, man.
All right.
I see your picture in the DARA bulletin every month. I guess when I get it right. Is it a monthly?
Well, because I'm the editor of the
yeah.
So,
okay.
I
right.
put the carrier together, and I'm about ready to put another one together.
Well, if you ever have a blank spot, here, put a.
Yeah, if you got something you want to submit
put
to the
a plug
carrier
in here about us or contact us or something.
All right, good.
Yeah, all right. We'll see you later,
Well,
Sam.
Tom, good seeing you again.
Good
all
to see you.
sound numbers on there, I think.
Okay, man. I will.
All right, brother. Good talking to you.
Nice talking to you too. Have a good day.
Yeah, not too bad. How about you?
It's always good here. How'd you do? You all right?
Yeah, it's okay.
Get some good video? I don't know.
That's not much up to that church.
Oh, man, it's not working out the way I did last year.
No? So did you ever find out, figure out what about the volume on your camera?
It's working fine. It just doesn't come through when you play it on the laptop.
Really?
The chat room said it was fine, so.
Okay.
That'll work.
You saw that K4 result in the cross?
Oh, really? No, I didn't see that yet. Did you go film that?
No, because I said, well, I'm not going to waste my time for Jeff Scott.
No.
I want to ask you first.
I didn't get it. No.
You can try tomorrow.
Now, what flex model is it using?
I have the 6600M.
Okay.
I originally had the 6700. It was the top of the line.
All right, mic test 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching today. We're gonna have to shut down here. The Ham Fest is closing in about 5 minutes. We're gonna shut down. I've got a friend I met here. It's a ham friend of mine. I went to college with 50 years ago. He was my roommate in college at Arkansas Tech, and I haven't seen him like in 40 or 45 years. I saw him once a few years ago, and then I saw him today. He came to the Ham Fest. He's a ham. He got his license because I was a ham at 18 years old at college, and so we're going to go meet for dinner. My 50-year-old, not 50-year-old, but my roommate in college 50 years ago came up a while ago, and we got to talk, and we're going to go out to dinner. Yeah. So it's closed. We're gonna shut down, and we'll be back on in the morning, probably by 8:45 tomorrow. Think about dropping a little bit in a kitty if you can afford it. That'll help pay for our trip. We really appreciate it. So we'll see y'all tomorrow. Create your own band openings. ICOM newest SDR transceiver, the IC9700, is coming soon. This new radio is bringing direct sampling to the UHF VHF weak signal world. The IC9700 is an all-mode transceiver loaded with innovative features such as dedicated amateur satellite operation, color touchscreen, D-Star capability built in, RF direct sampling on 2 meters and 70 centimeter bands. It has a dual independent receiver capable of full duplex operation as well as dual watch, and 100 watts max output on 2 meters, 75 watts on 70 centimeters, and 10 watts on 1.2 gigahertz. Visit www.icomamerica.com/amateur for more information on ICOM radios.